Oh, it's Saturday night, and if you see my face and hear my voice, that means something's happened. Here's what's happened. Just a night after Aaron Rodgers was spotted in the Pittsburgh area getting ice cream with Steelers players, and that had become a thing late Saturday afternoon on social media. Not long after, we reluctantly posted on the Aaron Rodgers getting a little rocky road. Aaron Rodgers agrees to terms. Multiple reports. Rodgers, 1-year deal. Back to the Steelers. He'd been in town for a week. It was such a bizarre situation. The Steelers didn't know he was coming to Pittsburgh. He didn't visit the team. He didn't go to the rookie minicamp. All the indications were he was talking through his agents to the Steelers. And as I've said many times, there's not much to talk about in a veteran contract. Money and structure. So he agrees to the 1-year deal, and then the reports follow that, multiple reports again, which here's what happens. The agent sends it out to the preferred insiders who are employed by the biggest companies, ESPN and NFL Network, even though they're now slapped together. They each get the hand-delivered information that Rodgers will have a base package of $22 million with an upside that would take it as high as $25 million. And if that number sounds familiar, that's the number that we've been throwing around. It just makes sense. Malik Willis, a former Packers backup who has 6 career starts, is getting $25 million per year with the Dolphins. And I found a past PFT post, and I would submit to you that there is a PFT Live clip out there somewhere in which I throw out the idea of a base package in the range of 20 with a max package of 25. And that's exactly what it is. It makes sense. It's a compromise. The Steelers needed Rodgers, and Rodgers needed the Steelers. He had nowhere else to go. No one else was showing interest, and the Steelers had nothing else. In all fairness to Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Drew Aller, they didn't have somebody who was ready to step in and try to get the most out of this team. Mason Rudolph has played well when he's had opportunities, but Mason Rudolph doesn't make the Steelers a playoff contender. And surely they at least want to get back to the postseason, get that 9-8, 10-7, at least do as well as they did when Mike Tomlin was there in the first year without Tomlin. Then next year, they'll figure out what they're going to do long-term at the quarterback position. So the leverage that each side had is that each side needed each other, and they needed to get a deal done, and they finally did. And the difference between last year and this year, last year, Rodgers had the wink-nod understanding with Mike Tomlin that he'd show up for the mandatory minicamp. Now that Rodgers is under contract, he could be there for all of the OTAs. He doesn't have to be. Hard to believe he won't show up Monday after he agrees to terms on Saturday. But with Aaron Rodgers, you can't rule out anything. I mean, wouldn't it be completely on brand for him to agree to terms and then ghost them on Monday under the notion that it's a voluntary workout? There's no reason not to be there. Get to know the new players, reacquaint with the old players, establish the relationship with his former head coach in Green Bay, Mike McCarthy, and the coaching staff that will be in Pittsburgh. Hit the ground running. This is something Chris Sims has been saying. If you're all in, you'll want to be there. You'll want to be around. You'll want to do everything you can to get ready for the season. The schedule is locked and loaded. And I don't think it's ridiculous to wonder whether or not the schedule had something to do with Rodgers waiting. We had said this last year. Wait until after the schedule's out, because if the schedule hasn't been finalized and Rodgers says he's coming back, the Steelers get jerked all over the place. You're going to play here. You're going to play there. You're playing at night. You're playing on Sunday. You're playing on Monday night. You're playing on Thursday. You're playing in London. That's what happened to the Jets in 2024. And they said the Jets owe us one after Rodgers had the torn Achilles tendon week 1 of the 2023 season, as if he got something out of it, as if they deliberately shortchanged the NFL on all the primetime games that the Jets had that year under the notion that Rodgers would be available. But they said the Jets owe us one. And I could see Aaron Rodgers not reacting well to that, because I wouldn't react well to that. So last year he waited until after the schedule was out. This year, 2 days after the schedule was out, Aaron Rodgers agrees to terms. And when you look at the schedule, with 4 primetime games and a Sunday morning game against the Saints in Paris, I think the league office bet on Rodgers being there because, again, all due respect, which always means here comes the insult to Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Drew Aller. Those guys aren't getting 4 primetime games. I don't think it's a hot take to say that the law firm of Rudolph, Howard, and Aller ain't getting a primetime game. They'd be lumped in with the group that gets to play under the sunlight, not the LED lights or whatever they use now to light the stadiums. Remember when they used to have to wait 20 minutes for the lights to come on? I'm off topic, but remember that? The lights would go off and you had to wait like 20 minutes. Now they just flip them off and flip them back on. Shit, I'd do it just for fun. Flip them off, flip them back on. Look at that. They come right back on. All right, anyway. The fact that I went down that rabbit hole proves that I am out of things to say. This is a short video, but it's a necessary video. And I appreciate you taking time out of your busy weekend, whether it be Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, to hear what I have to say about Rodgers returning. It's always a pleasure to serve you, no matter when, no matter where, no matter how. When that bat signal goes off and it's time for PFT PM, we can fire up the engine and we can say what needs to be said. And what needs to be said in summary is this: Rodgers is back. It doesn't mean the Steelers are headed for the Super Bowl, but without him, they would have been screwed. With him, we'll find out. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you bright and early on Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern for PFT Live. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.